Before you build credit, this is everything that you need to know. Trust me when I tell you, I understand the process of coming out of high school, coming out of college. You really want to start your life. You really want to have your independence and your freedom. But before you start this process, I'm going to tell you some things that you really should understand how to do, some things that you really should know as far as building up your knowledge. And if you are a parent watching this and you have young adults that are coming out of high school or college, this is perfect for you to understand. This is perfect for you to watch in this moment, because this is how you're going to help them leverage everything and level up just a little bit more in their lives. And we're going to break it down bit by bit right here in this video. The first thing that you want to do is double down on your education. You have to learn how to educate yourselves when it comes to the whole dynamic of credit building, leveraging credit, using credit. What is credit really for? And the dynamics of how to acquire credit and how to continue to expound on those credit lines over the course of the years. Here's one thing that I can tell you. If you are a parent watching this video, really want to encourage you to go out and try to unlearn some of the things that you know, to relearn some things that you probably don't know, or be open to learning new things about credit in general. Growing up, I remember that I was told credit was a bad thing and that I shouldn't use it, and that it started a lot of negative, doubts in my mind when it came to building up a financial picture with credit. And so I had to unlearn a lot of those mindset things in order for me to fully understand how important credit was for me in my life, and then for me to understand how to teach other people how important credit is in their lives. Education is going to be one of those primary factors that's going to be pivotal for this point in young people's lives, for them to really understand, am I getting everything that I really need out of this journey? Do I understand how I'm spending the things that I need in this journey? Do I know a lot about what I am doing? Here's why education is so important. When you know the things that you're supposed to be doing, when you understand and you have clarity in those things, the likelihood of you making a mistake is marginally low. And so I find that young people who make a lot of financial mistakes, don't have a lot of financial management skills, or in general, just, not responsible with their money and their credit, they don't have a lot of education behind what it is that they're doing, and they don't fully understand the ramifications of those actions sometimes. If you give a clear picture for someone and they fully understand how impactful it could be, you lessen the chances of them making such grand mistakes that can affect them over a long period of time. So you want to educate, you want to learn how to use credit, how to build credit, how to leverage credit, and how to sustain and manage the credit. The next thing that you want to do is go ahead and establish a credit profile for yourselves off the bat. That means as soon as you can. I would do this as early as 16 years old if it was me, but if not, as early as 18 years old if you don't have anyone, kind of strategically pushing you out there and kind of supporting you on that behalf. The earlier you start your credit profile, the better. Why? Because there is something that's called credit age, and your credit age has a significant impact on your credit worthiness. It gives lenders an opportunity to say, like, hey, this person has been at this for a while. They understand, they have that education aspect, and it shows them that, hey, this is not someone that's going to come in here and just going to ask. They've been building up their profile for a long time. And so let's just, work with them because they have been working with other people. And that time frame and that age there has continually grown. It's like you have a little bit of history, right? A little skin in the game. And so this is things that lenders and creditors and all these people look for when you're wanting them to give you the big money, the big bucks. Your credit age does matter. Now, I can tell you 100% that if you're smart as someone who is new to credit and you know someone who has great credit already, I would urge you to ask them to allow you to piggyback off of their credit. Here is the reason that you want to do that. When you're piggybacking off someone's credit, you're basically using their good credit history, including their credit age. And so if you go on and sign up for someone to let you be an authorized user on their good credit profile, you're already establishing good credit age out of the gate. You have a credit profile that's been established because it has mature lines on it, which means that your likelihood of being able to progress further quicker is going to be high. But you want to do this with somebody that is very financially responsible, because whatever happens on that account that you're on is also going to reflect on your credit profile. That means if they miss a payment over there, it's going to show like you missed a payment on your profile as well. The good and the bad reports when you're piggybacking off someone's credit. So keep this in mind before you sign up to piggyback off anyone's credit. Make sure that it is somebody that is reputable, that you know, that you have that has some type of great reputation. I say if it's your parents, please by all means use your parents' credit to help you build a credit profile. If you are a parent watching this, please by all means let your children piggyback off your credit to let them build their credit profiles very early on. You don't even have to give them the credit card. You don't have to give them the access to the account at all. All you have to do is just add them to the account and let them create a credit profile just as you are building up your continued great payment history and great account status. All it's going to do is reflect for them as well, and they're going to be able to acquire all of the great things that you have as well. You definitely want to keep those credit profiles locked. Scammers are out here. They're around every corner that you can think of. And when I tell you, as soon as you start building and shaking and moving in credit and you're skyrocketing, the last thing that you want is someone that is using your good name, your good social security number, your good credit profile that you have worked hard to build, and maybe not so hard, hopefully, but you have been putting this in place for yourself so that you can get everything that you need out of building your credit journey to leverage your life. You don't want anybody to come and take that from you. So when you're not getting ready to utilize your credit for the sake of acquiring something that you want, it should stay locked 24/7. In addition to your credit, your consumer profile should also stay locked 24/7. If you don't know what I mean by consumer profiles, go on my page, find my video about consumer agencies and consumer reports, and you can educate yourself through that video. The next thing you want to focus on is building the profile and not so much as the credit score. A lot of people think, oh, let's focus on the 700 credit scores, 720, 730, 750 credit scores, because that's what everybody talks about these days. And yes, you should focus on those high 700s, even an 800 credit score. Most people don't have an 800 credit score, but if you can get anywhere from 750 and above, you're doing absolutely excellent and amazing, obviously. But that is based on your credit profile, whether or not you're still considered to be very credit worthy. Someone can have a 780 credit score with one account. That means that on paper, you have a great credit score, but on paper, you also have a bad credit profile. No lender is going to lend you anything of great value with a small percentage of your credit profile being the most percentage of your credit score. Meaning you have that one account that's making you push into the high 700s. It's not enough credit mix. Your credit profile consists of multiple different categories, and I do mean multiple, but the ones that you want to focus on the most is going to be your credit mix, it's going to be your credit age, your payment history. You're going to also want to focus on those inquiries that you receive, because you don't want a lot of people seeing that you were asking for a lot of credit at one time. The next thing that you also want to focus on when you're building your credit history is to make sure that you always, and I do mean always, let's preface always, pay your bills on time. If there's going to be a problem in your payment regimen, you're not going to be able to pay your bills on time, you need to go ahead and make those arrangements with the creditor ahead of time to try to see if you can push something off to the end of your loan payment or the end of your term payment to where it's not going to affect you primarily on your payment history. The last thing that you want to hit your credit profile is late payment histories. Now, there are ways for you to rectify late payments. It's a pain in the ass per se, excuse my language, but it is very difficult. And sometimes it requires you to go back and forth a lot. You need to know the credit laws, and you need to have a great reason as to why this will not happen. And in most cases, you may damage the entire account and may need to remove it altogether, so it's not reporting on your account negatively. But one thing to make sure that you always do is pay your bills on time. Have financial responsibility and great financial management to ensure that you're doing that. Whatever you need to do to work that out, work that out. You can move payment due dates around. You can make arrangements with your lenders. Never miss those credit payments, especially those credit card payments, because the interest on those will tear you apart. And also it is the fastest way to tank your credit score altogether. The last thing that I want to tell you is to make sure that you are regularly checking your credit profile. Don't just check your credit when you need to go and purchase something or when you're in the market to acquire something. Check your credit at regular intervals and have some type of alerts come into your phone to notify you in the event that things change. I love to use Identity IQ, which updates your credit profile in real time. Experian.com also gives you those alerts. But those are the two that I like. I also like to track my score sometimes on My FICO app. The My FICO app is really, really good with letting you see how your scores are lining up across the board. And it is a little bit on the pricier side, but it is an option out there for you to explore. Please, by all means, do not find yourself going down a rabbit hole of Credit Karma. Credit Karma does not track accurate scores. Now, they will tell you in real time when there is a change to your credit in general. And I have been noticing that lately with Credit Karma, getting alerts letting me know that things are changing with my credit, that my scores dropped, that my scores increased. Yes, those alerts are probably accurate, but the actual score that they give you will not be. So if you're looking for updates on your credit score, Credit Karma is not the way to go. That is your Vantage score that they're giving you and not your FICO score. Again, this goes back to the first part of this video when we talk about education. You want to understand every aspect of credit, the scoring system, the components of the credit profile, what to do, what not to do, how to build this credit profile the quickest, what lenders are looking for the most, and also strategically align yourself with those companies that you're going after so that you can know I meet the criteria that they're asking for before I even go apply. I want to give you one more thing to piggyback on the last thing that I just said, and we'll just add this in as another tip. Always make sure you do your homework before you apply for credit. It's never a great idea to blindly apply for things. So if you're going to apply for a credit card, you want to go and you want to look at the criteria of what is the likelihood of am I going to be able to get approved for this credit card? Do I have this? Do I have that? Do I have this? Do I have that? You want to make sure that you go down a checklist and check for all these things. New people who are out here acquiring credit, new credit comers is what I call them. They have a habit of just simply going out, putting in applications and seeing what stick. That's the wrong way to do this when you are new to credit. If you are new here to the credit industry, the credit world, building credit, acquiring credit, you always want to make sure that you set yourself up for the highest probable chance of approval. The only way for you to do that is to understand what it is that those companies are wanting and see how you align. If you don't align, then you figure out how to get yourself aligned so that you can get what you want. That's it. I hope this video gave you some insight on some things that you should really look out for when you're building a brand new credit profile as a young adult or teenager. And if you're a parent watching this video, I hope that it sets you up for the actual conversation to have with your young adult or your teen to get them acclimated with the idea of building credit and understanding the credit system in general. Credit is an amazing resource, it's an amazing tool, and it can help you to be able to start so many different aspects of your life very early on without leveraging a lot of your own money to do so. Remember, when you're using credit, it is very much so a thing that I always like to say, use it responsibly and understand how to leverage it, and don't use it if you truly need it. That is when you're going to get yourself in a slump, you're going to be down, and you're going to find yourself in those narrow tunnels of being sucked in the credit, in the credit vortex. And when I tell you, it is hard to get out of that vortex when you get yourself in it. Don't make that mistake. If you want to know more about credit or any type of money advice in general, come on and join the family over here on our YouTube channel, where I talk about a lot about money and mindset to give you an idea on how to start your life in a very favorable way. Give yourself the best chance to have the best chance is what I like to say. Until next time, thank you for watching this video. Let me know below which way are you gonna go when you're teaching yourself how to build these credit profiles, and what do you think that you need more help with? Maybe it's something that I can help you with. Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, guys, I'm Nicole. Come back and see me on the next video.